You saw me starting to use ADB, Android Debug Bridge. Some important commands associated with this: ADB connect, and then the port and or IP address optionally in order to connect to. If you're connecting to something over the network, you would do IP:port. If you're connecting to something local to your host, you can just specify port in order to connect to that ADB connector for that instance. ADB root says, okay, I'm connected, but I want to actually run this as the root instance to take advantage of the available root capability, so that when I instantiate a shell, my shell instantiates as a root shell rather than a regular user shell. This does not root the device, right? This does not actually provide you with root if it doesn't already exist. It's just that if it already exists, I want you to use this when you spawn the shell. ADB devices, I ran this one specifically, list off the different virtual devices that are available to me from this host. Push and pull files. ADB push. Take a file from my file system on my workstation and push it over to the debug connected virtual device or physical device. So ADB push. ADB pull is grab a file from the file system and pull it back to my workstation or laptop. And you may be using different file system path syntaxes where I'm pushing, from Windows to Linux. So it would be ADB push C:\tools myfile.txt to /data /com.packagename/files/ other file name.txt. Right, so I'm mixing the Windows syntax with the Unix file system syntax in order to push things. Same thing for the pull. ADB shell gives you an interactive shell. If you just want to execute a single command, follow the ADB shell with the command that you want to run, and it will execute it on the virtual device or the hardware and then give you the results. So if you just have one thing that you need to do, rather than having to do the interactive shell, just type it at the command line after shell, and it'll drop that command over into the shell and run it. ADB install an APK. You install an APK using the file name of the APK. Right? I showed you this just a second ago. But if you want to uninstall a package, you have to call it by the package name. Saying ADB uninstall, package name.apk doesn't make sense to the Android device. There is no APK installed, there's a package installed. How do you get the list of packages? ADB shell PM list packages. Okay, and then you can actually do some filtering to find the one that you're looking for. Because usually there are 70 to 100 packages installed. On Windows, you can do the pipe find or pipe find str in order to look for that. Also, the ADB the shell PM command has filter syntax as well. So you can say, just look for this string in the name of the package. Good. And then the last one, and we'll do a little bit of this, and this is super noisy, is ADB logcat. Right? This is basically a tail minus F on syslog. Right? This is show me the stuff that's being dumped into the Android system log. And each line is preceded with the type of log information. So you can have an informational log entry, you can have an error log entry, right? And so each line actually has information about what type of log content is there. If I just run ADB logcat, it will dump all of the stuff in the log for me, and then it will start blocking, and basically anything new that comes in, it'll dump it out to the screen. Okay? I can specify various levels, like only show me the errors in logcat. I can also clear the log. Be very careful about clearing the log. Don't clear the log unless you really mean it. Right? And only clear the log on test devices. Don't clear the log on real production devices. So these are important commands. There are others. You can look at the syntax of ADB. I have found that ADB changes over time depending upon the version that you're using. ADB also allows you to make backups. We'll talk about backups a little later when we talk about access to devices and the file system associated with it.